Across the United States, millions are packing their bags and heading for new destinations. While some states are booming with inbound migration, others are experiencing a steady decline as residents flee in search of better opportunity, affordability, and quality of life. In 2025, the reasons behind this migration are more complex than ever. Rising living costs, political polarization, natural disasters, and lack of infrastructure are just some of the forces driving Americans to make a move. In this video, we explore the top 10 states people are leaving behind in 2025. Some of them may surprise you. Subscribe now to Global Lens for weekly insights into how people are living and leaving around the world. Number 10. New Mexico. New Mexico's population has remained stagnant over the past decade, and now the trend is turning negative. Despite its cultural depth and picturesque landscapes, the state has struggled to retain its younger population and skilled workforce. In a 2024 survey, 6 in 10 New Mexicans said they would leave the state if given the chance at a better life elsewhere. The exodus has become particularly prominent among young adults aged 18 to 34, many of whom cite limited economic opportunities, slow job growth, and concerns over crime. Education quality and access to healthcare remain concerns for families, while rural infrastructure continues to lag behind. Although the state has invested in renewable energy and technology hubs in cities like Albuquerque and Santa Fe, these initiatives have yet to counterbalance the broader outmigration trend. The combination of low wages and lack of upward mobility makes it difficult for New Mexico to retain its homegrown talent. Number 9. California. Despite its global image as a land of innovation and sunshine, California has seen a persistent loss of residents. Since 2020, over 800,000 people have left the state, and 2025 continues that pattern. Rising housing costs remain the #1 driver. The median home price in major cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco now exceeds $900,000, pricing out middle-class families and even dual-income households. Renters are facing record-breaking prices, with average monthly rents surpassing $3,000 in urban centers. Taxes are also a major factor. California has the highest personal income tax rate in the country at 13.3%, and combined with high property and sales taxes, many residents are looking to states with lower financial burdens. Additionally, widespread homelessness, traffic congestion, and declining public safety in some areas have prompted families and retirees alike to consider alternative options. States like Arizona, Nevada, Texas, and Idaho are common destinations for former Californians seeking more space and stability. Number 8. Oregon. For the first time in more than 3 decades, Oregon experienced a year-over-year population loss, and that trend has continued into 2025. Once known for its thriving art scene and lush natural surroundings, Oregon is now dealing with affordability issues, rising homelessness, and concerns over crime, particularly in Portland. The pandemic disrupted Oregon's appeal as a remote work haven, while the housing market failed to keep pace with demand. A lack of housing supply has pushed home prices higher, particularly in areas that were once considered affordable alternatives to Portland. Moreover, political polarization and controversial policy debates have made the state less appealing to newcomers and longtime residents alike. Wildfire risks in southern and central Oregon have also impacted housing and insurance markets. These environmental concerns, combined with economic and social tensions, have made relocation increasingly attractive for those seeking stability elsewhere. Number 7. Connecticut. Connecticut's shrinking population is part of a broader trend affecting the northeastern United States. Although the state boasts a high standard of living in some areas and top-ranked schools, it also has some of the highest property taxes in the nation and a declining manufacturing base. From 2020 through 2025, the state has consistently ranked in the top tier of outbound migration, particularly among retirees and working professionals. A 2024 analysis by United Van Lines revealed that nearly 60% of all moves in Connecticut were outbound. High tax burdens, aging infrastructure, and a challenging business environment have made it difficult for the state to retain residents. Many retirees are opting for warmer, more tax-friendly destinations like Florida or the Carolinas, while younger families are heading to neighboring states with more vibrant economies and job growth. Even longtime residents are being priced out of affluent suburbs like Greenwich and Westport due to skyrocketing housing costs. Number 6. West Virginia. West Virginia's demographic decline continues to be one of the most severe in the country. According to census projections, the state has lost more than 3% of its population since 2010. In 2025, the loss is ongoing, driven by economic stagnation, limited infrastructure, and a declining birth rate. The departure of younger residents has been especially damaging, with many leaving for education and employment opportunities in nearby states and never returning. The economy remains heavily dependent on declining coal industries, and diversification efforts have been slow to gain traction. Broadband access remains limited in rural areas, affecting education and remote work potential. Healthcare access is another concern, particularly for aging populations in isolated regions. While the state has taken steps to attract remote workers with financial incentives and scenic living environments, these programs have had limited success in reversing long-term trends. Number 5. Illinois. Illinois has now marked nearly a decade of population decline, and 2025 shows no signs of recovery. The state lost over 100,000 residents between 2020 and 2024, with many citing high property taxes and concerns over fiscal mismanagement. Chicago, while still a major metropolitan hub, has experienced notable outbound movement, as families seek more affordable suburban or out-of-state alternatives. Illinois faces one of the largest pension liabilities in the country, and this has led to higher taxes and cuts in services. The state's property tax rate consistently ranks among the top 5 nationwide. Violent crime and gun violence in urban areas have also contributed to growing frustration among residents. Retirement is another key driver, with many older residents relocating to tax-friendlier states like Florida, Tennessee, or Texas. Additionally, job seekers and entrepreneurs often leave in search of more favorable business environments. Number 4. Alaska. Alaska's vast landscapes and natural resources are no longer enough to offset its demographic decline. From 2013 onward, Alaska has seen more people leave the state than arrive, and this pattern has accelerated in recent years. In 2025, multiple factors contribute to continued outmigration. Harsh weather conditions and seasonal isolation play a major role, as do the high costs associated with shipping goods and maintaining infrastructure in remote communities. Although the state offers a permanent fund dividend to residents, the cost of groceries, fuel, and housing remains significantly above the national average. For younger Alaskans, options for higher education and specialized careers are limited, leading many to relocate to the lower 48. Older residents often move away in search of better healthcare access and milder climates. The state's population continues to age, and birth rates are not keeping pace with losses. Number 3. Hawaii. Hawaii, despite its natural beauty and cultural richness, is losing residents at a concerning rate. The cost of living is now nearly twice the national average. Everything from milk to gasoline must be imported, raising everyday expenses to unsustainable levels for many families. In 2025, the median home price on Oahu has surpassed $1 million, making homeownership an impossible dream for most residents. The state has also seen an increase in brain drain, as younger residents move to the mainland for better educational and economic prospects. Public school funding challenges and limited healthcare access in rural islands further contribute to frustration. Many residents express concerns over over-tourism and housing shortages caused by short-term rentals and vacation properties. While tourism remains the economic backbone, it has created an imbalance that leaves local communities struggling to keep up. The top destinations for former Hawaiians include Nevada, Arizona, and Washington. Number 2. New Jersey. New Jersey continues to be one of the most exited states in the country. In 2025, outbound migration remains driven by high property taxes, cost of living, and aging infrastructure. The average property tax bill now exceeds $9,000 per year, the highest in the United States. Combined with elevated income and sales taxes, the financial burden is driving many residents to lower-cost states. Data from United Van Lines shows that nearly 3/4 of all moves involving New Jersey are outbound. Retirees and middle-income families are among the most likely to leave, often heading to Florida, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. Additionally, as remote work becomes more permanent for many sectors, proximity to New York City has become less of a priority. The state's high housing prices and ongoing concerns over public transit and road conditions have only intensified the desire to move elsewhere. Number 1. New York. New York remains at the top of the list of states losing residents in 2025. From upstate towns to New York City itself, the population decline is widespread. The Empire State has one of the highest state and local tax burdens in the nation, and rising housing costs are squeezing out middle-class families. In 2024, the state lost nearly 100,000 residents, a trend that has only continued into the new year. The pandemic-era migration accelerated an already growing frustration with dense urban living, rising crime rates, and aging infrastructure. Many businesses have relocated to states with fewer regulatory constraints and lower operating costs. Individuals are following suit, seeking better quality of life in states like Florida, Texas, and the Carolinas. According to recent data, high taxes, remote work flexibility, and political dissatisfaction are the top reasons cited by those moving out of New York. Whether in Manhattan or Rochester, the pattern is clear. People are leaving in large numbers, and the recovery remains uncertain. While the reasons people leave a state may differ, taxes, cost of living, climate, or opportunity, the broader picture reveals a nation in motion. The shifting population trends of 2025 tell a deeper story about where Americans see the future. If you found this analysis insightful, be sure to subscribe to Global Lens for weekly updates on global migration, cost of living, and the evolving choices people make about where and how they want to live.